All right, everybody, this is Dave Stevens again from Lincoln Financial Field, and the Eagles and the Cowboys are about to kick off. This is our second attempt at a pregame show with my buddy Casey MacKay, and I am Dave Stevens here from the press box this time. It was a little crazy out in the field, a little bit of Wi-Fi interference and things like that, but it's great to join you again from here where you can see me a little better, and I got to bring in my buddy from Canada. Casey MacKay is joining me, and Casey, it's a little warmer inside as we try to do this a second time, but it's great that you've joined me. And again, it's a game tonight that doesn't really mean a lot, but there's still some importance to it as far for the Eagles proceeding, and of course the Cowboys want to come out and win them so they can do it. If they meet them a third time in the postseason, they can sweep the series. But Casey, how are you doing, and what's the weather like in Canada tonight?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, Dave, and it's pretty chilly here in Canada, but I I'm getting by, and it's pretty typical temperatures for January. Um, but I've been just staying inside and hunkering down because I don't really like the cold. I think, but this is typical Canada weather, so it's what we've come to expect as Canadians.
Well, I'm glad I came inside. And again, we've got a little bit of football to talk about as we just do this quick mini live shot from here. And as I said, the teams are getting ready on the field, as you can see down there. The crowd is kind of trickling in. It's kind of a late night for these guys, and of course, it's a Saturday night game, which is unusual in the NFL. But I expect it'll be rocking and rolling in a little bit. And of course, the Eagles, they didn't even think they were going to be here a little while ago, or a few weeks ago. I mean, it was thought of that making the playoffs was not going to be something that they could do, but they're here. They're going to be in the playoffs. And again, they secured, an opportunity that once you get involved in a postseason tournament, anybody can win. Like, in the NHL, an underdog can come up and come all the way through and shock some people. But these guys started out, Casey, 3-6 after 9 games, and nobody, I think they had a 1% chance to make the playoffs. So this turnaround is great. And tonight is going to be a little different. It might be almost like an exhibition game tonight because Jalen Hurts is not going to start, the quarterback who's really helped turn these guys around. So we're going to see Mishu, the backup, play a little bit today. And then there's some incentives for a rookie wide receiver. Devontae Smith is just a couple of receptions away from trying to get the rookie record for receptions in the season. He is about 40 yards away from the rookie receiving yard for overall yards, and he's just up there with all of the other rookies in the league. So he's got a great chance to be rookie of the year. And as we talked about, the Cowboys with their offensive up and down that they've had this year with Zeke and Dak and all those guys, they're looking to come out strong as they wrap up the season. But most of the things is these guys want to come away from not being hurt. So that next week when they start the playoffs, but you guys up in Canada, are you a big CFL fan up there, Casey?
Yeah, I've been to actually one CFL game, and the atmosphere was amazing. Uh, our our hometown team lost that game, but the atmosphere to just be a part of that was just amazing. And football fans really put their heart and souls into their team. It's really awesome to see.
Well, if you, Casey, if you're watching the game tonight, I got to pull up a little something for you here on the screen because they have just announced all the roster changes that are caused by COVID. So there's a lot of guys that were on the practice squad that are playing, and they literally went over and had to rename everything. So moms and dads across the country that weren't expecting their kids to play can tune in tonight on the second game of the doubleheader on ESPN. I think the Kansas City Chiefs did they end up beating Denver? I didn't get to watch the end of that game, but we've talked a lot about football, Casey. But I kind of want to get back to what your forte is. If you could kind of update us what's been going on in the NHL. I know I watched a couple of rookies jumping on the Minnesota Wild, so we've seen a lot of COVID changes as well for rosters. But it's an exciting time, my friend.
It is, and what I've seen in the NHL is a lot of provinces up here in Canada are either limiting how many fans can enter the building to watch a game, or some provinces, like here in Ontario, are not allowing spectators for about 3 weeks as we try to lessen the curve of COVID. So Alberta and BC are allowing 50% capacity. Ontario and Manitoba are not allowing fans for the next 3 weeks. So that should be interesting. Originally, fans in Ontario were allowed to watch games, but no food or drink, which would have been interesting. But then the province quickly realized that that wasn't logistically possible, so they just said we're gonna go with no fans, and I think that's the right decision. As I said, we're trying to lessen the curve here, and I think if we allow no fans for a few weeks, uh, we might get through this quicker. Another thing that I've noticed is Edmonton is not doing too well as a team. They're 3-9-2. They've lost their last 11 games, but their two biggest players, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, are the two top players right now, and they're up for a Hart Trophy, which is really interesting, even though the team is not doing really well. So I think the next few weeks are going to be a real story for the NHL, and I'm really looking forward to see what comes out of this. I think as fans, we really have something to look forward to.
And there's some excitement in the league tonight as Fleury goes back to where he had a huge run for his career back in Vegas. I think he's in goal tonight for Chicago. So a lot of excitement, and I think I've seen Florida the last 4 or 5 games have averaged 5 goals a game, which is pretty unbelievable for that kind of an offense in this NHL. But as we wrap up this little NHL segment, any surprises as far as the last time we talked a month ago, as far as teams that have either disappointed or exploded?
I think when I've looked at the standings, the teams that are on top have not surprised me. Like Minnesota's not on top anymore, like they were last time we chatted. But the teams that have taken their place and that are on top of the standings, I have nothing that surprises me in that front. I just think going forward, it's going to be a really interesting continuation of the season, and I'm really excited to see how the season finishes and who finishes on top. I know my hometown Leafs are doing really well this season, and I'm really hoping they can go further in the playoffs, and by that I mean past the first round.
Well, it's been great to see, and again, it's also good to see parity. And they took a couple of weeks off to try to regroup from COVID and didn't play in the Olympics and plan that. So, hopefully they're refreshed and getting things ready. I know the NBA is going through the same thing, and obviously the NFL now with the guys that they're putting on the rosters tonight. So it's almost like an exhibition slash preseason game tonight that we are here live from Lincoln Financial's field, as you can see up here in the corner, where the Eagles and the Cowboys are about to kick things off. And my son, who's with me here tonight, this will be his second Eagles-Cowboys game because he flew earlier this year to watch the Cowboys play with a huge victory over the Eagles earlier this season when they met up the first time. And, of course, tonight, this doesn't mean a lot, but, of course, you want to have those bragging rights heading into the postseason. So you'll probably see these guys play a couple of plays, and then most of the other guys are going to be here just kind of going through the motions. But we should sit back and watch because the playoffs are here, and that's what most of the excitement is for the next couple of weeks. And, Casey, I'll be at the Super Bowl. You and I are going to be doing some stuff from the Super Bowl in Los Angeles, and I know the league just announced they might move it to Texas, but I hope they don't. We are at this peak at this point. But some excitement. Kansas City Chiefs have started playing well. Hopefully Tom Brady can figure out what's going on with that offense. And you saw Antonio Brown storm off the field in a weird way this week. And a lot of back and forth with the texts and things with Bruce Arians and that kind of stuff. And so it's been a crazy end of the season for football. I know John Madden passing. You did your homework and caught up on what John Madden is like. And, what were your thoughts as you saw when you were looking into John Madden's career or anything that you want to ask?
Yeah, so I just want to know from you, Dave, is there a particular story you'd like to share with us about John Madden?
Well, I worked at ESPN for 20 years, and I got to be around him at a couple of Super Bowls, and it was really neat to see him just be this big, larger-than-life, boom, boom. He was walking around and screaming and saying those things like he was, and he always had somebody carrying a couple of extra dress shirts because he sweat so much, and so he would just be excited and sweat, and he'd have the same colored shirt, and they'd put it on. but just what he brought to the game. And most people your age only know him from a video game, but he's also created a video game that kids now learn how to do plays and write things, and it's helped people create, and it's much bigger. And so it's a great legacy that he's left, not only as a coach and a broadcaster, but also, as what he's done to the NFL. And so, we're here tonight, and I'm excited to be here, right here at this place. And it's nice to be able to have, the Disability Channel get to be a part of this. The league has brought us back in, so thanks to the league and Roger Goodell and all those folks out there. They open their arms to us, Casey, and I can't wait to get you stateside once things clear up, that we can be here and have you enjoy some American cuisine, because I hear that Canadian stuff up there is a little bland. But we got some stuff for you this side. But it's been great to work with you so far, and I don't know what your thoughts are. Excitement, not being able to come to the Super Bowl, but you're going to be involved with some of the guests.
Oh, that's awesome. I look forward to that, and I look forward to experiencing a Super Bowl in person with you once this pandemic is behind us.
So that should just about wrap it up here from Lincoln Financial Field. As I said, the teams are going to get set to kick off here in a we do not have those entities, so I can't show you highlights while it's going on, but that's our view from the press box. It's a lot warmer, as you mentioned, Casey, than it was when it was 18 degrees, but I think with the wind chill, it's really, really cold. And I'm not wearing artificial legs to keep my bottom warm, so it's not so enjoyable out there. But final thoughts as we wrap, Casey, as far as what we are doing with press box.
Well, I just hope that it's a very entertaining game tonight, and I hope you enjoy it, Dave. And I can't wait for our next show. And let's go to the Super Bowl, baby.
That's right. All right. Well, from the beautiful press box here in Philadelphia, I think this went a little smoother than the one we tried to do outside. For my co-host, Casey MacKay, this is Dave Stevens. Again, the teams are running off the field. They'll come out for the introductions, the national anthem, and all of the hoopla that we've got. So I've enjoyed spending a little time with you. Don't forget to follow the Disability Channel online. And of course, hey, I got to get a couple of plugs in. I'm Dave Stevens. And of course, you can follow Dave Stevens on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all social media. And again, you can support and hire Dave Stevens to speak at any of your programs and things like that. So for myself, and I'll bring back in my buddy Casey MacKay. Want to wave and say goodbye to everybody, Casey?
Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. That's a wrap from here. We'll see you next time from Press Box. I'm Dave Stevens.
And I'm Casey.
Have a great night.